MP to all cars. Armed robbery on security vehicle
Juliet
now.
4 to MP.
4 men.
Off watch.
Juliet 1 to MP. Disturbance in High Street. Gang of youths
MP
fighting
to
with
go
knives.
1-1.
Request assistance, over.
Suspects on prem.
Oh, it's cold. They could have chosen a better morning for it.
Don't choose mornings for funerals, Tully. And graveyards are always cold and windy. Didn't you know?
Do we have to be so near, right among them? It's like a villain's convention.
We're showing our respect.
It's getting a lot of spectators.
Mourners, Tully.
Oh, nobody's mourning, Sarge. They've come to see him put down, that's all. Come to make sure he's 6 feet under.
Yeah. Must be quite a few cheerful people here, but to look at them, you'd think they'd lost their best friend.
Look, another car's arrived. 3 big blokes getting out.
Yeah. That's his 3 brothers. Means the family's all here now.
What, do you know them?
Yeah. Left to right, it's Joe, Jack, and Jonathan.
3 J's?
Yeah. Old man like names beginning with J. The one line in the hearse is Jim, the late and not much lamented James Alder. Top villain.
It's not often a big villain is taken from us without warning.
Driving his supercharged Mercedes, minding his own business, then zonk, whisked off to the great safe deposit in the sky.
Before we had time to say goodbye.
Before he had time to make a will or tell his family where all the loot is. They found nothing in the bank, nothing under the mattress, known to be worth a mint. But where is it?
He was loaded.
More than you and I'll ever see. That's why his brothers are here, why they were sent for by Ma. If her sons don't find it, World War III will be declared. That's Ma over there, the big lady, you see?
Yeah.
And the younger one, the good-looking one, that's the widow.
They're bringing the coffin now.
Yeah, there's 3 brothers and 3 close friends of the family. The one with the fair hair, that's Paul Garrett. The other 2 are Mike Dixon and Pete Campbell, both known to us. Take a good look at them and check the line-up round the grave.
Here, you don't think the cash is in the box with him, do you, Sarge?
We're showing respect, remember?
Yes, Sarge.
So shut up, keep quiet.
Well, that's it. All over. Get a load of the flowers. Have you ever seen so many?
Must be 1,000 quid's worth.
Half the manor must have chipped in.
Yeah, the king is dead.
And the wind's getting colder.
Won't take much longer. Watch them as they come forward and pay respects to Ma. We need to know who has come and who hasn't, and who the brothers talked to on the way out.
Yeah, okay.
All right, it's breaking up. Let's follow them out.
You. Brook, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Who asked you here?
Come to pay our respects. This is Detective...
I don't want to know who he is. I want to know what you're doing here.
The announcement said all friends were welcome.
Yeah, since when have coppers been friends?
I sent a wreath.
The police funds, was it? Yeah, thanks for nothing. This is private. You're not wanted. Go away.
If you say so.
Who was that?
Brother Jonathan, youngest of the family and the roughest. Ma's favourite. You busy, sir?
Oh, back, Dave. What was it like? Good turnout?
Yeah, a couple of hundred. A lot of them came just to spot the local celebrities. There were about 50 villains counted. Oh, and his 3 brothers turned up, of course, to be with Ma.
Well, that was expected. She has always ruled that family. Her old man Danny was away a lot. Parkhurst, mostly. When I came to this patch, Jim was becoming the breadwinner. A bigger villain than his dad. Ran his brothers like a team. Made a lot more cash.
How much do you reckon?
6 figures? Could be even 7. Well, that's what crime intelligence think. Involved in at least 4 blaggings a year for the past 7 or 8 years. And he was no big spender.
Stashed it away.
The only spending he ever did was buying a share in that club he used to drink in. What was it called?
66.
Ah, yes, that's it. And a half share in a betting shop. Jim liked to bet, hated to lose. Oh, and he set up a minicab firm. His only ambition was to do what Paul Garrett did.
Oh, he was at the funeral.
Garrett?
Yeah, as a friend of the family. He was one of the bearers. He took Ma's arms. They walked back to the funeral cars.
Oh, did he? Well, right now, I want us to have some ears in the pubs today. I want to know what the brothers are up to.
I'll have a look around.
Right.
Here, Tommy. I want a word with you.
You're getting about a bit this lunchtime, ain't you, Mr. Brook? First the Falcon, then in the Lion. I didn't know you was a pub crawler.
Very funny, Tommy. You know what I want? News.
Well, my news to you is to stay away from the boozers. And Johnny didn't like you being at the funeral.
I saw you there as well. What was the talk about among the mourners?
That there's going to be trouble all day. And anyone seen speaking to a cop is going to be in for a touch of GBH.
Nobody can see you speaking to me here, Tommy. So go on.
The brothers are paying visits.
What are they looking for?
Oh, you know, Mr. Brook. Cash. What else? The money Jim had. It's got lost.
Well, don't the brothers know where it is?
Out of touch, that's what. 2 of them on extended holiday out in Spain.
On the Costa del Crime.
Yeah. And Johnny's just out after 5 years inside. They can't find a thing. No will, no bits of paper, no bank books, nothing.
Have they been to the banks?
Oh, yeah. They've got a brief writing round the banks. Did my late client open any accounts, you know? Hey, Mr. Brook, You got a fag?
Yeah. Go on, you can keep them.
Oh, Tar.
What's the brief's name?
Finch.
Oh, him. Did he find anything?
Nah. You got a light?
Yeah, tell me.
And they're asking other questions. Like who Jim had been friendly with while I was away.
Well, there must have been someone he trusted.
Oh, yeah. Paul Garrett. He went back to the Alder's house after the funeral. Ma always had a soft spot for him.
Is he still there?
No, I just seen him in the King's Head, though. Having some grub.
Remembering the bad old days.
Yeah, before going back to Kent.
Yeah, well, keep listening, Tommy. And Tom.
Will do, Mr. Brook.
Dave!
Sir?
Let's have you. Right then. Bring me up to date on the Alders.
They've had a brief writing round to the banks asking if his late client had opened any accounts.
Who is the brief?
Finch.
Ah, that figures.
Yeah, he specialises in villains for clients.
Yeah, have a talk with him, will you? Let him know that we're searching too.
Yeah, could be in a bank.
Could be in a safe. There's one at the club and a big one in the betting shop. Jim Alder had the right to use either.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Tommy?
The trouble started early. 2 of Jim Alder's old friends have been taken to casualty, the fracture unit.
Do we know who?
Yes, sir. A man named Timothy Duffy.
Yeah, he's the barman at the 66. And the other?
Tony Peters.
You know him, Dave?
By name, yeah.
Yeah, he used to be Jim's gopher. What's happened to him?
Duffy has a broken leg in 2 places and Peters has a broken hand.
And it's down to the Alders.
You're joking, sir. Duffy says he fell down the cellar steps. Peters can't think of an excuse yet and has said nothing.
It's shaping up. Go to the hospital. If you can get one of them to complain, we'll bring the Alders in for a talk.
Yes, sir.
You said Paul Garrett was at the funeral, Dave.
Yeah.
Well, if he's still on the patch, I want you to see him.
Yeah, I might just be able to catch him if he stays till 3 o'clock. You think he might be back in the game?
Could be. Jim Alder was on his way back from seeing Garrett in Kent when the crash happened.
Was he?
The fact that he came to the funeral could put it out of court. But Garrett's worth a chat. CID, Chief Inspector Roach. For Tully? Yeah, all right, put it through. Yes, what is it? Yeah, all right, I'll see you get that. Oh, and don't put Tully's calls through to me. Put them through to CID room, all right? One of Tully's contacts to say that 2 more have been taken to casualty. The manager of the 66 and one of the clerks from the betting shop.
And it's the same story, is it? All a great surprise. Can't remember how it happened.
Yeah.
Right, I'll be with Garrett at the King's Head, if you want me.
Right.
Mr. Garrett?
Sergeant Brook, isn't it?
Yeah.
I saw you at the funeral. Being sorted out by Johnny.
He hasn't changed much, has he?
No, he hasn't. How'd you know where to find me?
Well, this is my patch, isn't it? Anyway, the King's Head used to be all local, didn't it?
I thought I'd drop in and have one, for old time's sake. Hasn't changed much, has it?
Not what you're used to now, is it, down in Kent? Do you mind if I have a word with you?
I was just on my way home. But, let's sit down.
Yeah.
What can I do for you?
It's about your friend, Jim Alder.
Jim's dead.
Yeah, I know. He was coming back from Kent when it happened, wasn't he?
And you want to know if you'd been to see me, that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was with me. We spent the day together. He left at 8. He was dead by 9.
Must have been a shock to you.
To everyone. What's on your mind?
Money. It seems to be on everybody's mind today.
Everyone's interested in Jim's money. Perhaps he didn't leave any money.
Well, if he didn't, an awful lot of people are going to hospital for nothing.
I'll take the point. What's your theory?
That it's being minded somewhere, and the minder's going to need some protection.
By you?
Yeah.
We're both going to need some protection, Sergeant. Look who's just come in.
Johnny Alder.
What the hell's he doing here?
Having a drink with me. Why not join us?
He's sticking his bloody nose in again.
Johnny, what do you want?
You, back at the house.
Who wants me?
Joe wants you.
I've told him there's nothing more to tell.
Joe says to come. And so do I.
You've had my answer.
Look, Garrett!
Johnny! Don't ever speak to me like that again. Sit down. I said sit down. Johnny, you're just out of jail and your brother is dead. Now I'm making allowances, but never shout at me, never threaten me, and never give me orders. If your ma wants me to come to the house, I'll go. But you and your brother, no.
I'll be back. And your tame copper had better not be here.
Whew. Sorry about that, Sergeant. I wasn't sure if I'd get away with that. Only Jim could keep that one in his place.
Yeah, he always was a tearaway.
Now, what were you saying?
Well, you were talking about Jim's visit to you on Saturday.
Oh, yes. Well, it had nothing to do with this business. Jim just liked to get out of town, see the country.
I hear you've got a nice place in Kent.
Yeah, not bad. It's a manor house. Got it cheap. Previous owner went bankrupt. How'd you know?
My inspector told me. Chief Inspector Roach.
Chief Inspector? When I knew him, he was just a sergeant. So, he's still around. Well, when you see him, give him my regards. And tell him he has an invitation, down to Kent. So I'd like to meet him again. Chat about old times.
I've been looking for you, Sarge. Where have you been?
Here and there.
You've been missing all the fun. Alder's betting shop has been done over and the safe opened.
What, the brothers call us?
No, one of the neighbours. She heard screams, thought someone was being murdered. When we got there, the safe was open, everything scattered on the floor. The manager was alone, sitting against the wall like he'd been run over.
I think we better get him in.
His name's Wilkins.
Where is he?
Gone to casualty like the rest.
Oh. Well, when he's been treated, I want to see him. Is Mr. Roach in?
Yeah, just come back.
Right.
Come in, Dave. How was Garrett?
Well, he was good company.
He was always good company, always a top villain. Was he any help?
Well, he didn't say much to me, but he asked about you. Wants to know if you'd go down to Kent for a chat.
For a chat?
Well, that's what he said. His actual words were, I'd like to meet him again, chat about old times.
Oh, did he? And what's Tully up to?
Well, the mayhem's still going on. Jim Alder's betting shop's been broken into. He's gone to fetch Mr. Wilkins. He's a manager.
Here he is, Sergeant. Alfred Wilkins.
Come in, Mr. Wilkins. You have been in the wars, haven't you? Head in bandages.
Yeah, and his arm's broken.
I'm not asking you, Tully. I'm asking Mr. Wilkins. It's broken, is it?
Yeah.
Not sure, are we?
Yeah, it's broken.
But we don't know who did it, right? Well, sit down, Mr. Wilkins. Tully, a chair for our guest. Now, Mr. Wilkins, you are the manager of the betting shop at number 14 Bridge Street. Is that right?
Yeah?
What were you doing in the betting shop at 11 o'clock at night?
Oh, I was told to be there.
Who told you?
The Alders. They had a right to call me. I had to go.
A right?
Jim Alder was my partner. He's dead, so his two brothers are my partners now.
So, they asked you to open the safe?
Yeah.
And then broke your arm?
No, the safe door did it.
Then I suppose the door hit you over the head. Mr. Wilkins, let's have the truth. You refused to open the safe, so they took a chair and beat you over the head. Is that more like it?
There was a broken stool in the office, Sarge.
What did they think was in the safe?
They had a right to look in the safe. They're my partners. They had a right to call me out.
Did Jim Alder ever keep money in your safe?
No, we don't keep money in the safe now. Only ledgers. We bank every day.
That's why they duffed you up, is it?
Sergeant, I've been in hospital. I'm not feeling very well. If you're finished, can I go now?
Goodbye, Mr. Wilkins. And the best of luck with your new partners.
Yeah.
They had a right.
You should see the others in casualty, Sarge. It's like Chelsea and Millwall. Crutches, splints, heads bandaged, you name it.
I don't care how many slags like Wilkins get hurt, as long as they keep it amongst themselves. I think it's time to see Mr. Finch, the well-known villain's brief.
Ah, come in, please. It's Sergeant Brook, isn't it?
Yes, Mr. Finch.
Yes, of course. We've met in court, haven't we?
Several times, sir. This is Detective Constable Tully.
Sir.
Do please sit down. Now, what can I do for you?
Well, we understand that you're acting for Jim Alder.
Well, if you're referring to the late James Alder, yes, I was. Now I'm acting for his widow, Sergeant. I've been asked to settle his estate.
The family seem to think there's some money missing.
Yes, correct. His affairs were not in the best of order. I've been writing to the banks, the Big Five, several others, trying to trace his accounts.
The family seem to think that the money's not in a bank.
I see.
You looked after Jim Alder for some years.
On and off, you might say. I hadn't acted for Jim for, how long? 10 years. He turned into a model citizen before his unfortunate death.
He just wasn't caught, was he?
I didn't hear that, Sergeant.
So you don't know anything about spare money that might be lying around?
No. And as an officer of the court, I'd be bound to report it.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you called. I'm in close touch with the family, and if I can help you, or you can help me, let me know.
Thank you, sir.
If we can help him. That was a laugh. He's a smooth talker, isn't he?
Yeah, he's made a good thing out of that family. He can't be pleased that his best client is now the late Jim Alder. I'll have a word with the old man. Be straight back.
Right.
Mr. Roach,
Oh, yes, Dave. What is it?
we've seen Mr. Finch. He's winding up Jim Alder's estate.
Oh, yeah. Have the brothers been near him?
No.
Oh, we're not much further on, are we?
No, sir.
Well, try this. I've asked for Tony Peters to be brought in.
Well, the one who had his hand crushed.
That's him. He ran errands for Jim. He's not very bright, but you may get something out of him. He was always around Alder. They were close. Have a word with him.
Yes, sir.
You'll have to wait, though. He's still in hospital.
Yes, sir.
But it could be worth it.
Tony Peters, Sergeant.
Come in, Tony. So, they kept you in hospital, did they?
Yeah, all night. Discharged myself this morning, didn't I?
Take a seat. What happened to your hand?
Doctor said some bones are broken.
Not some. The doctor said all his fingers were broken.
Dear, is that true, Tony?
If the doctor said it, yeah.
What do you say?
Nothing, Mr. Brook. I was told never say nothing in the nick.
Sure. Would you like a cup of tea, Tony?
Yeah, I'd like that.
Charlie, tell the PC. Tea for our friend Tony.
Yes, Sarge.
Won't be long, Tony. Who did it?
What?
Your hand. Oh, come on, Tony. It's not a secret. We all know. You were in the pub, the Stag's Head. 20 people saw it. One of your pals took you to the hospital.
Anything you make me say, I'm not giving as evidence. Not against them.
No, of course not, no. Anything you say to me won't be evidence. It'll be just between you and me and DC Tully when he comes back.
Tea's on its way.
I was telling Tony that anything he tells us is between friends, OK?
Yeah, that's right, Sarge. Between friends.
We don't want to bother you with all the bits, Tony, but you were in the pub with a pal when they came. Now, what time was it?
It was 9:30, Sarge.
You see, Tony, we know. Why don't you answer for yourself?
Yeah, it was 9:30.
When they came?
Yeah.
All three?
No, just Joe and that bloody Johnny.
And they took you over to the wall and started breaking your fingers?
And then me thumb. Oh, me thumb was the worst. I could kill the bastard.
They were asking you questions. What were they asking?
I can't say.
No, it won't be evidence, Tony, remember? What were they asking?
If I was keeping anything for Jim, if he gave me money, big money. Well, he didn't. The only money I got from Mr. Alder was me wages. Johnny didn't like that. And then he wanted to know if his brother had any other mates he was close with.
Did you tell them?
Yeah, I said he had friends all over, in a club and that.
But really close ones, Tony. Ones he could trust. Like you, who did things for him.
Well, there was one. He's a driver with a cab hire firm. He got on with him.
How do you mean, Tony?
Well, this bloke used to run him around and wait for him. And if Mr. Alder was drinking, to take him home and that. Always used him.
Damn.
Hey, your tea, Tony. There you go.
Thanks.
Tony, this cab driver, what was his name?
Frank.
His other name?
I don't know. He would just say, tell Frank to come round for me at 5 and tell Frank to pick me up at the club, usual time. Frank looked after him a lot.
Did you tell this to Johnny?
No.
Thanks, Tony. You stay and finish your tea. Tony, look after him.
So how was Peters?
We're getting somewhere, sir. He came up with what might be a good lead. It could be the one we want, a minicab firm. Jim Alder had a favourite driver who ran him around at night. Cabs can be useful for moving things.
Have him brought in.
No trouble. I think I'll book myself a cab.
Right.
Lambton Cabs, can I help you?
Yeah, I want to book a cab to pick me up right away.
Yes, sir. From where?
Outside the Queen's Hotel.
And the journey, sir?
Well, I'd like to book it for the whole afternoon. I want to do some sightseeing. Is there any chance of Frank taking me? He was recommended to me.
Frank? Hold on a minute, sir. Has Frank booked on yet? Sorry, sir. Frank hasn't booked on today.
Do you expect him later?
I hope so, sir. He should have been on this morning.
Right, I'll call again.
Did you get him?
No, he hasn't booked on today. Hang on a minute.
Yes?
Can you spare a minute, sir?
If it's 1 minute, yes.
Our friend the cab driver hasn't reported for duty today.
Skipped?
Or in hiding.
Find him. And let me know when I get back.
Where are you going, sir?
To Kent. Taking up the invitation from Paul Garrett.
Have that chat about old times.
Yeah. I put him in the dock 5 years ago with Jonathan Alder and 2 others.
And he didn't go down?
No. The luck of the game. I'll tell you sometime. Hello, Garrett.
Chief Inspector, come in.
Thank you.
It is Chief Inspector now, isn't it?
Yes.
You've come up in the world.
Not as much as you, Garrett.
Well, it's good of you to drop in.
Wow, I couldn't pass it up, could I?
You have a drink?
Why not?
Come through.
Thank you.
Scotch or brandy?
Scotch.
Soda or water?
Water. 50-50.
It was always 50-50. Don't change. Here up.
Well, you've got a nice place here, Garrett. Quite a country gentleman, aren't you? I suppose you bought this with your share.
You still bear me a grudge?
Oh, it's too late for that. Or water under the bridge. Cheers.
Cheers. Was a laugh, wasn't it, eh? Remember? Your lady witness wanted to look her best, wouldn't wear her glasses. When they asked her to point to me in the dock, she pointed to Johnny. You should have seen your face.
You should have seen Johnny's face. It sent him down and you walked free. Since Johnny's been out, there's been nothing but trouble.
You think I can stop it?
Well, you asked to see me.
Fact is, part of the money is Johnny's. The same share that I got. A big one. But he had to do time for his. Expected to come out and enjoy it. Instead, he comes out to his brother's funeral and told his money is gone.
And he doesn't have to start a war.
You're dealing with a real villain. Johnny's sympathy ended at the graveside. He did 5 years for that money. He's not about to let anyone else have it.
You don't have much time for Johnny, do you?
He's a menace.
Do you know who's got the cash?
Nope.
So what's your interest?
In the family? Ma. She was good to me in my young days. I owe her. Let me top your drink up.
Oh. Was Jim planning to come down here? Buy a place like this?
Well, you know how it is. To all good companies, a place in Kent is like a little bit of heaven.
Well, he'll know now, won't he?
Sitting up there, looking down at the fellow who stole his cash. He's got a fortune if only he can keep his nerve.
Who?
Someone with brains to cash in on what Jim left. Someone who knows how to convert money, how to invest, who's used to handling money. A lot of money.
Can you put a name to him?
Nah, but I'll tell you this. There's an old saying, set a thief to catch a thief. Johnny Alder's a top thief. He'll find him before you do.
You think?
I'll make a bet on it. That Johnny will find him first. Will you take me? Tenner.
All right. You're on.
Yeah, well, we'll drink to it. And then I'll show you the grounds.
Guess what, Sarge?
All right, Tully, you look pleased with yourself. Tell me.
I found your driver.
What, Frank?
Yeah, scared stiff he was. All packed and ready to run.
Does he know anything about the money?
No, but he knows who Jim Alder gave it to, and he's had a visitor asking questions. That's why he's getting out.
Who's the minder?
Someone we've both met.
I get it. What are we waiting for? Let's go.
We better get a few DCs. There's a light on in his office.
On his own, packing up the cash.
Well, somebody is.
Kelly, you stay with the car. O'Brien, follow us. First floor.
Right, Sarge.
Go on, Charlie. All right, Johnny. Just stand where you are.
Brook, I told you, just keep out of this. It's none of your bloody...
Charlie, did you have to do that?
Yes, Sarge. And when he comes round, he'll get another. How about our friend over there?
Mr. Finch. Mr. Finch, can you hear me? Oh, he's out.
Oh, Johnny's made a right mess of him, hasn't he?
Yeah. O'Brien, call an ambulance, will you?
Yes, Sarge.
Mr. Finch. Does it surprise you, Sarge?
What, Finch, the lawyer? The man in a position of trust, no?
Johnny Adler didn't trust him. Just look around.
Yeah, it's all a mess, isn't it? Filing cabinet smashed. Safe open, letters, cash.
Ah, safe deposit keys.
I suppose Frank told Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny turned nasty and threatened him. So he told him the cash had all been taken to Finch to look after until Johnny came out.
Yeah, but Finch had other ideas. He was going to keep it for himself.
Yeah.
Mr. Finch. Sergeant Brook, can you hear me?
He doesn't want to hear. He spun us a right old tale, acting for the family. 5, 6, 7 safe deposit keys. We should have no trouble finding the money now.
Good. Better put the cuffs on Alder while he's out.
All right, Johnny, turn over.
Well, Mr. Roach, What do you think of the place?
Very nice, Paul. Beautiful garden. It must take a lot of upkeep.
Yeah, it leaves a lot of staff to keep you like this.
Phew, how the other half live.
Excuse me. Paul Garrett. Who is it? Oh, yes, he's here. There's a call for you. If you want to take it in private.
Oh, no, it's fine here. Roach here. Oh, hello, Dave. You have? It was who? An ambulance on the way. Yeah, I want you to stay with him and get a statement. Yes, from both. I'm coming back.
Trouble?
Yes. Jonathan and the lawyer Finch.
And Finch had the money.
Yes.
And he was at the funeral. Did you know? Holding Ma's hand, saying how sorry he was. He was always bent.
Well, you should know. Thanks for the drink. I'd better be off.
Chief Inspector.
Yes?
You've forgotten something. If Johnny got to him first, you owe me a tenner.